Warning: the creators of this channel would like to remind you that some content and images may be too intense for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome once again, this is the Dark Druid. I've had a chance this past weekend to actually sink my teeth into that Annaliese recording I was telling you about last week. And sadly, I have to say, it had some interesting stuff in it, but at the same time, I feel that whoever had that recording before me has done some alterations to it. It does have things that earmark it as authentic, actually. It does definitely sound like a reel-to-reel recording. It is a tape. It is not digital. There are things that I don't think people would have faked. It just wouldn't have been something to have done. It wouldn't have made sense to have done it. But there are some things I'm going to play for you just on the pure point of I want to put that in there so you can see what I'm hearing. Again, there are parts in it that are low whispers, which in 1975 they would have had basically two options: a onboard microphone or a handheld stationary microphone, something you could have put on a stand and set in one spot. There would have been no reason for it to go from a whisper to a scream in a matter of seconds. So that makes me think right there that someone had a hold of this and enhanced some of the audio to make it sound more menacing, more terrifying, and more than what it actually was. My honest to God feeling on it is that someone got a hold of this recording. It was an amazing recording to have your hands on, but it didn't pack the punch that they were expecting it to pack. So what they did was make it pack that punch. So to me, to sit here and to go over the entire hour and a half recording for you would be pointless, because I would be putting out something that I feel is not authentic. There are parts in it, like I said, that stand out as a little less than honest. There sounds like there's some audio in it that has been reversed, and just a few other minor things like that. But the biggest one is the fact that it will go from a whisper, needing to like pump it up 10, 20 decimals, to redlining and having to, in order for it not to burst your eardrums using earphones, having to put it down 20 or 25 decimals. That is not something that this recording should have done. Like I said, most likely the microphone used would have been stationary or handheld. Think of the guy on stage with the mic stand versus him walking around with the microphone in his hand. The distances didn't change. If everything I'm hearing about the exorcism is right, this girl weighed 68 pounds at the time of her death. She was held up for some of the exorcism by her mother and her father because she didn't have the strength to actually stand on her own. Needless to say, she's not doing laps in the room. So there is no reason she should have moved away from and closer to the microphone. You can't go from a normal speaking voice that can't be heard without enhancement to a normal speaking voice that is so loud it's hurting your ears, to a scream that is flat out redlining all audio equipment. It's just not possible without movement to and from the microphone. Now, I'm still going to go over a couple of the clips. I think I've got 4 or 5 that I really wanted to play for you, give you a little bit of analysis on them. If you want to look for this recording yourself, it's not hard to find. You can actually find full clips of it on YouTube. You can download it yourself. I can even put a link to a translation of it as best that the guy could do. I mean, as I've stated, I don't speak German, and actually I don't speak Latin either. I mean, I recognize Latin and I know a few words of Latin, but it's about the same with German, so I don't speak either language, so I can't tell you what I'm hearing on it. I can only go by someone else's translation. But like I said, it's just not something that I want to bring to you because I feel that it's been altered. So here's my breakdown of the clips. Okay, the first clip I'm going to play for you is actually a very strange sound. I've heard some people say that this could be Annaliese using all of her vocal cords. As you know, humans have actually 4 sets of vocal cords, one for higher range, one for lower range, and this could be her using both at once. And now to show you what I find interesting about that clip. Okay, what I'm about to play for you is a clip from later in this recording. Now this was a good probably 5 to 10 minutes apart. And if you notice, it's actually the same sound 5 to 10 minutes apart. Exactly the same sound, even down to a thump heard after the sound. This next one, listen for the end. That's what I find the most interesting about it. You see, when the end hits, it does something that normally only we get when we reverse audio through a digital method. It has an upswing, and it gives it an artificial sound. I've heard a lot of tape recordings. I'm an older guy. I used to have nothing but cassette tapes, and I've never heard this happen naturally. It has always been something done studio-wise or something you have forced to happen yourself, not a natural occurrence in the human voice. And this is just another example of what sounds to me to be reverse audio, something digitally done. So there you have it, and that's really only about the first 15 minutes of the recording, so that's why I didn't feel like doing any more with the recording was worthwhile. As I said, it's just too much leaning toward possibly being altered in some way, shape, or form, and the only way I would feel comfortable bringing it out and putting anything out other than the analysis that I'm doing right now is if I had a true master recording of it, something that had not been through so many hands and possibly not been altered. I don't know, whoever had it before me could have just been trying to enhance it and bring it out themselves so that it would make a better product when you listen to it. But the fact of it is, for what I'm doing, it has made it basically useless because, I mean, you heard it yourself. There are things in it that are just, they're digital and they shouldn't be there from a 1975 magnetic tape recording. Now, like I've said, there are things in it that should actually have been there, that are impressive that they're there, that lead me to believe that this at one time was completely 100% authentic. But with just so much of that I feel just leave it as what it is. I mean, again, this is just my opinion. Feel free to download it yourself, listen to it, analyze it, pick it apart, do what you want to do. But as far as my opinion of it goes, that's it. The recording I've got has just been through too many hands and has possibly been altered. So until next time, this is the Dark Druid, and I'll see you soon.